Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Beer Garden, where tonight we are going to Sha Tin with a really nice card. We are going to take you through races 8, 9, and 10, as well as our value bets, and of course, the best part, our best bets. But let's get right into it with race 8, which is the Cumberland Handicap Class 3 over 1,200 meters on the all-weather track. Let's start off with Steve. Who do you like here?
I went for the number 9, Jazz Angel. He did it tough last time from gate 12. The time before that, beating the nose from the 11 gate. He was nothing to 5 on turf, but seems to have found his niche on the all-weather surface. Blake Shin, not surprisingly, stays with him. And barrier 8 is not as bad as the last twice, so barrier 8's no problem at all. He's up £7, but is an improving horse, and I'm hopeful he defies the rise. Chances, you can give chance to Spontaneous, so I picked the last time. But he was impressive the last time over course and distance. But he's up to Class 3, and Class 3 tends to catch him out. He's only ever won 4 times in Class 4 company. Harmony Spirit haven't yet to win, but is consistent, likes the surface. And Douglas White and Lyle Hewitt's in fantastic form, aren't they? And Tornado Phantom is interesting on his all-weather debut, but I'll take Jazz Angel to win race 8.
Yes, Jazz Angel is a really nice looking horse. And Charene, do you have a similar bet?
Yes, right. I also agree with Steve. I also like number 9, Jazz Angel, in this race because he used to be always missing the start on his first 6 runs in Hong Kong. However, after gaining more and more experience, he is now more mature and he improved a lot. So he jumped well on his last 2 starts. So once he breaks well, he can show us his talent. Last time out, he was jumping from gate 12 and carrying the top weight. It seemed tough, but he was fast enough to stay in the midfield and chase well and win by 2 lengths. Beating Smart Folks and Utopia Life. And then this time up in Class 3, but of course the lighter weight will be carrying. And it is good to have his best partner, Blake Shin, to be on board again. And I believe that he will jump well again, then he will be able to have the good result again. So number 9, Jazz Angel for me as well.
Yes, I feel like Jazz Angel's last race really showed quite a bit, and that, you know, now jumping into this Class 3 type racing, I think he's going to show just as much improvement as we've seen over his career so far. So that is the 9, Jazz Angel. And Joe, who are you taking?
Taking an old favorite of ours, number 2, Tornado Phantom, this time with Zach Purden. I think this time around, he has a better barrier than he had before against Eason, so he got second in that race in the penultimate at Happy Valley. Yeah, they are going to try him on for the all-weather track for the first time. I think that he'll make a really bold run at the end of the race towards at the top of the lane here at the 1,200 meters. Usually that's how he makes his runs, but I think with a lot of speed in the race with Flying Bonus and Trader should be off the pace here. I think Tornado Phantom as a back marker could try to come after him at the end. So I mean, we get Zach Purden, and he's been on him before and does have a win on him on the 1,200 meters. And then he had 2 races behind Lucky Sweezeness, who lost to Astrologer the last time out at Happy Valley a couple of days ago. So I'm going to take a chance here. Tornado Phantom, I'm not sure what the price is. I remember we were talking about how crazy the price was last time that was on him. So maybe this time around, maybe the same price, maybe less, maybe more, but should be a good value play here for Tornado Phantom. So number 2 for me.
Yes, I do like it. Making his all-weather debut. Let's see how he does. I agree. We get Purden back aboard. It could be a threat right there. And I agree with Joe. You're going to see some nice value. I went with the 6 here. Everyone's a Victory. It's also my best bet as well. We got Bentley aboard. He's jumping out of barrier 8, but I feel like he's in his career best form and really consistent with his runs on the all-weather track. He trailed the field. You're probably going to sit back there with possible Tornado Phantom, but he is a strong gear he clicks into in the stretch and shows an incredible speed. But he's also coming off of a really nice barrier trial at the all-weather track in Changfa, where he got a 3rd placing to some pretty decent company. So he's coming in fresh, he's coming in great form, and I think he's going to put on quite the performance here. So to recap, race 8, Steve and Charene are both on the 9, Jazz Angel. Joe is on the 2, Tornado Phantom, and I am on the 6, Everyone's Victory. So we go to race 9, which is the Devon Handicap Class 3, 1,400 meters on the turf. And let's start off with Steve again. Who do you like?
I went for number 5, Golden Link, 3 from 23, all victories over course and distance, ridden today by Matthew Chadwick. Chadwick on board for 2 of his 3 wins. Back today over his best trip after the 1,200 metres of Happy Valley on his penultimate start. And last time it was over a bit too far, maybe, over the 1,600 metres of Sha Tin. So too short, then too far. Back to his best trip this time of the 1,400 metres or 7 furlongs. He won in his seasonal reappearance. Hope he can make his 2nd win of the season. What is it? Golden Link, yeah.
Yes, Golden Link. And Charene, do you have another similar bet to Steve here?
Yes, so another race I have similar thinking with Steve. I also like number 5, Golden Lane. I think that maybe it is a bit tough for him to have some breakthrough at the current rating of 73, but definitely going back to 1,400 meters where he scored 3 wins before, he should be able to surprise us. As Steve just mentioned, that last 2 start racing over 1,200 meters at Happy Valley and a mile at Sha Tin, both were not his best trip, but he was still close, so I'm going to give him one more chance over 1,400 this time. He looks quite fit in the morning track work recently, and also Matthew Chadwick knows the horse very well. Gate 3 this time will be good for him, so I will be looking forward to Golden Link number 5.
Yes, Golden Link's looking good, and I agree with what both of you have said, that now that he's coming back to this 1,400 meters, this is his distance. This is where he's most suitable and most impressive at. He already has 3 wins under his belt at this distance, so let's see if we can get him a 4th win. And Joe, who are you liking in this race?
I'm going with the very powerful combo right now with Lyle Hewitson and Douglas White. That is Super 10, number 7. I mean, look, the draw is number 2. He had the last draw was number 1, and he won in front running fashion. And Lyle Hewitson always gets him home. Well, not always, but he does get him home when he's running in the front. So we've seen that move all the time in South Africa, and that's how he made a lot of wins here. But yeah, I think this last race, only carrying 54. He's going to carry 2 more kilos. Wasn't too far off. He held him on by about 0.3 lengths, and he got a decent price on it last time with $9, beating Maldives, and that was his first run with Lyle Hewitson over the 1,400. So I think with that strong effort last time out, he could probably do it again and try to steal it from the front. A lot of threats here as far as being off the pace or being on him, which is Golden Link, Seattle Choice. Satanta is another one that could be off the pace and try to steal it there. I think that he could do it again, though. He does have a lot of speed. In that last race, he showed some pretty fair sectionals as far as that goes. So I'm going to take another chance here with number 7, Super 10, Douglas White and Lyle Hewitson.
Yes, I feel like you can't go wrong right now with Lewis Lyle, but you know, the 7 here, he's looking for his back-to-back wins. Can he do it? I think so. The equipment changes they made last race really made it quite the improvement, and we just saw him excelled over the track, over the same distance. So hopefully, you know, this combo of Lyle Hewitson and White will continue on with their exceptional journey. I took the 2 here. This is also my value bet, and I know Joe just mentioned him a little bit, but Satana here with Blake Shin for David Hayes, jumping out of barrier 1. You know, this is a tough horse, and I really kind of dove deep into his PPs. His first start at Happy Valley, he got a really nice 3rd place finish, and then next time got a 2nd at the 1,400 meter. He hasn't really ran this distance since then. He did come to Chung Fa for a little bit of reprieve there in March and in April. Now comes back to Sha Tin last time out with a 5th placing, but I feel like he's, you know, ever since he kind of dropped into that class 3 level, hoping to get this horse's confidence back, but I think it's there. He's keeping the blinkers off. The draw is super favorable for him. I just feel like this horse, you know, coming back to that class 3 as he was running in class 2 company for quite some time, and really strong company. I mean, you look, he tried the Hong Kong Classic Mile in January where, you know, Romantic Warrior, California Spangle, an incredible company. This horse has really faced some of the toughest competition here in Hong Kong. So now that we're dropping back, we're going to hopefully get his confidence up, get a win under his belt to see him progress even further. But I think you're going to get some really great value. So for me, that is the 2, Satanta. Steve and Charene both have the 5, Golden Link, and Joe is on the 7, Super 10. Now to go to the final race of the card, which is race 10, the Cornwall Handicap Class 3 over 1,200 meters on the turf course. And Steve, who are you taking here?
I went for the 9-horse Brilliant Way in the last, still lightly raced horse, not helped by a wide barrier last time when breaking from gate 11, maybe not helped by the good to yielding ground as well. The ground looked quite cut up that day. The time before that, he was barrier 10, so, well, this time from 10, so, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Horses win from anywhere, don't they? The amount of times I don't pick a horse because it's got a wide barrier and then it wins from barrier 14, and then I'm thinking, why, oh, why? So, yes, Alexis Bedell, also good from a wide draw, lightly raced, only 6 runs. Interesting, all 6 runs have been at Happy Valley, at Sha Tin, twice over the 6, then 2 over the 7. He actually won over the 7. His only win over the 1,400. But connections seem to want to stick at the 1,200 meters, and maybe it will pay off. Maybe he'll win for the first time at the 1,200 in the last race. Brilliant Way.
Yes, I did write down, he got another wide barrier draw. It's like, oh, you get frustrated for the horse itself because, but like Steve said, any horse can really overcome it. It's tough, but they can do it. And hopefully we'll see Brilliant Way come back to the form that we've seen him, at Sha Tin back in March, where he put on a really lovely win there over this distance in the Class 4. Charene, who are you taking in this race?
In race 10, I will go for number 4, Solid Impact. On his previous starts, he tried different courses and different distances before, and now keep racing over 1,200 meters is a good decision at the moment. And also, it is nice to have Zach Purton riding him again, because Zach just had 3 gallops on board this horse during the morning track work before this race, and the horse keeps improving. And I also think of the weather on Sunday in Hong Kong. It is likely to be raining again, while Solid Impact is a yielding winner in New Zealand before coming to Hong Kong. So the soft ground will be suitable for him as well. This is quite a wide open card in the finale, but Solid Impact is still improving. So I will be keen on him. Number 4, Solid Impact for me.
Yes, I do like him a lot. I did actually kind of go back and forth between him and the horse I ended up picking for this race, but I just feel like that break he got at Chung Fa with that really nice barrier trial, and then coming back, I think that really got his confidence, got his form back up. And the one thing that I looked at, which Charene, you'd mentioned, is that he has experience on a yielding course. Because unfortunately, the weather in Hong Kong hasn't been the greatest. We're hoping you guys get some break of this wet weather, but we'll see. And then Joe, who are you taking for this final race of the card?
I went with Lucky Quality, number 5, with Alfie Chen and Casper Fountain. Now, if you watch this last race that he had in the class, I believe it was a class 2 or class 4 race, he did have a little fist pump at the end. Alfie Chen did, so I thought that was pretty funny. But now he's going to step up class 3s. That win was just destroyed him by 3 lengths, and he got a good price on $10. But you look at the horses that he's faced, it's like Flying Ace, who's just could be a superstar, that horse. Wild West Wing, Exponential, Triple, a lot of those. But he is going to carry a little bit less. Alfie Chen gets the weight allowance. So and he's been pretty good with them. A first, an 8th, a first, a second, and a 4th, and then an 11th. So he does have a winning record on this horse. So I think that Lucky Quality, I know it's going to be a little bit more of an ask. But I mean, it's Medaglia de Oro is usually a really good pedigree as far as turf goes. So I'm going to take another one here, kind of off the board, but he is going to go try to get his 2nd win in a row, and that is Lucky Quality, number 5, with Alfie Chen.
Yes, I think that weight break with Chan on him is definitely going to help in this race. Like Charene had mentioned, it's fairly wide open, but Chan knows this horse with that really nice one he got last time out. I think this is a really, really interesting horse, and we'll see if he can get a back-to-back win here. Now, for me, I went with the 2 Flying Season here, jumping out of barrier 7. We get Chad Wikiboard. He's on fire right now. He is, just 4 starts. He's really lightly raced. 4 starts with 2 wins under his belt. Since putting the blinkers on him, he's just become a lot stronger, a lot more focused, and kind of knowing where he needs to go and how he can take on the field here. He's consistent, he likes a hot pace. And with this race being wide open, I also kind of feel like the pace scenario could also be a bit wide open. I think it might be a fairly hot pace, but we'll see. There's just a lot of town and a lot of question marks here with this one. But I think I'm going to take my chances with him. I really think he's going to continue to show improvement. So that is the 2 Flying Season. Charene has the 4 Solid Impact. Steve has the 9 Brilliant Way, and Joe has the 5 Lucky Quality. But let's get into our favorite part of the show, our best bets. And we'll start off with Steve. Who is your best bet?
Well, I went back to race number 8, and that's the 9-horse Jazz Angel. He did it really tough the last time from gate 12 under Blake Shen. He was dropped in a little bit, then he was 3-4 wide for a while. And then when he came into the straight, he really did show his mettle. He really put the foot down and went clear. It's a really nice performance. He's up 7 pounds, but I'd like to think this is he's an improving horse. And there's every chance he can defy the rise from a better draw than last time. Don't get your Jazzies mixed up, of course. There is a Jazz Steed running today as well. But this is Jazz Angel, of course, a younger horse altogether. So, yes, for me, Jazz Angel, Blake Shin keeps the ride. And he looks interesting, doesn't he? I'll take him to win.
He does. He does look very interesting. I just think his form on the all-weather track, I mean, I feel like the all-weather races, to me, is like throwing a dart. But this horse has been shown great form over this track. He's really taken to it. So I think it's a really nice best bet there. And that is race 8, the 9 Jazz Angel. And Charene, who do you have as your best bet?
My best bet will be in race 7. It is a class 4 race over 1400 meters. I like number 1, Fun and Glory. He broke maiden over 1200 meters in March, and at that time he overcame the wide draw under Zach Purton and won it easily. However, last time out was his first time to carry the top weights, and he did chase well, but it was too late. So just a 5th place for him. As a up and coming 4-year-old, I'm happy to see that he just gained 20 pounds before this race, showing that he is growing up and progressing quite well. And also this time, Fun and Glory will be up to 1400 meters, which will be quite favorable for him because I expect the pace here will be quite fast. So it would be favorable for this horse. And also Zach Purton gets a lot of good rides on Sunday. Fun and Glory is the best one for me. So my best bet, race 7, number 1, Fun and Glory.
Yes, I do like him. I did have a question mark about the wide barrier drop, but you're right. He's overcome it before. There's no reason why he can't do it again. I think that stretching out is going to show quite nicely on this horse. And Joe, who is your best bet?
I'm surprised that Steve didn't jump on this because he is in this race. He is in this race in race number 3, and I went with Beluga. Certainly, the class of the race among the field. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for him, and he has Lyle Hewitson, so of course you get like one of the most hot jockeys in Hong Kong right now. I think he could throw out that last race. He just didn't look like he was into it. He drew barrier 10, and then it looked like he just gave up once he was at the top of the lane. But you know, we've all known that Beluga's beaten a lot of these 4-year-olds that were in the 4-year-old classic. So you have like I'm a Single Man, Fa, Sunny Star, Co-Partner Ambition. I think that he could do it here. He is certainly the class in the class 2, pretty competitive class 2, because you do have Running Glory who's going to go for the hat trick. But I think with the draw, now he's drawn a little bit better. Beluga looks like he is it's his race to win. I think Beauty Fit is another one that you could watch out for, and it's surprising to see that Zach Purton didn't ride Beluga because normally he is the rider, but you know, Lyle Hewitson's never a second banana here. So I'm going to take number 1 Beluga in race number 3. That's my best bet.
Yes, this is a tough race. It's only 7 in the field, but man, this was a really competitive race. And when you had mentioned Beluga earlier, I was a little bit surprised with you, Steve. But
well, I decided to loan it out to Joe for one meeting only.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Feeling generous this weekend.
Oh, well, that's quite nice of you, Steve.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think Joe appreciates that, but he'll take Beluga as his best.
I'll
bet.
take Beluga, yeah. I have to take it.
I know, all day long you'll have to take it. So that is the 2 Beluga in race 3. And my best bet, I'm going to challenge Steve's best bet as I'm coming in in race 8 as well with my 6 Everyone's Victory. I just think he's consistent and in career best form. He's ready to take on this field. the all-weather track, it really seems to have decent form there. So we'll see. I think, like, you know, like I had mentioned, he has a really nice gear he clicks into come the stretch with that last minute speed burst he has, and I think he's gonna get that here with the barrier draw being 8 is really gonna set him up for a perfect position to do that. So my best bet comes in race 8, 6, everyone's victory. Steve's best bet is in race 8 as well with 9, Jazz Angel. Charene comes in at race 7 with 1, Fun and Glory, and Joe has race 3, 2, Beluga. Well, let's get into our value bets for this card. I think I'm a little bit of an outsider here because we're going to have one race that we're all going to take on with the exception of myself. But let's just start off with Steve.
I went to race number 5, number 10, Team Good Luck. Nothing from 3 on dirt, but seems to go well on the surface. 1 over 1400 meters on the turf, 3 starts back. And he's had 2 fair runs on dirt the last twice. The best one was 2 starts back over course and distance, when third to Flying Dragon, a horse of yours, I think, recently. I think we've all had a bit of Flying Dragon somewhere along the line, haven't we? Vincent Ho keeps the ride from barrier 9. It's a very open race, but yeah, it's a shame that you're not with us in race number 5. We'll all be cheering on, and they'll be you sitting in the cold. But hopefully, Team Good Luck can win.
Yes, this is the 10 Team Good Luck. Looking good. Well, let's go on to Charene. Who is your value bet to challenge Steve's?
Yeah, my value bet in race 5 as well, because I think it is not an easy race here. So it is quite good for us to find some outsider in this race. I will go for number 12, Smart Fox. As a 5-year-old maiden in Hong Kong, he is going to have his 25th start here. And it is quite interesting to see that Charene takes the ride for the first time on board this horse. And before this race, he had an impressive gallop with the horse on May 7th, last Saturday. He finished it in a great time. He's now well prepared for this race, and also carrying the bottom weight against the class 4 rivals. Don't underestimate him, because last time out he showed some ability in this class by running second to Jazz Angel that we mentioned earlier in the show before. So I will have Smart Fox number 12 as my value bet.
Yes, he looked really great that last time out. So we'll see how he does this time. And Joe, are you taking on the 5th race as well with your value bet?
Yeah, Sarah, you should have joined the party. It was going to be a lot of fun. We all try to find some kind of value in this all-weather race. Yeah, I went with number 6, Common Room. So Common Room is going to try the all-weather for the first time. He's lightly raced. He's going to come off a 39-day freshening. I know that the last 2 races were pretty bad, last, but then there was something about him in February where he ran second behind Gala Waking, who was also a big price, and then also Common Room was a big price that day. So I think you're going to get another big price on Common Room. I think he could probably run in the placings. He's going to have to improve. He's going to have to show that run that he showed back in February. And I think that if he can, he'll be thereabouts to finish. I know he's only 3, so he's probably a little bit green right now. But it looked like he gave up towards with those last 2 races, but I think lightly raced and trying the all-weather track. You never know. Some of these horses might not like the turf and then all of a sudden be more acclimated to the all-weather. So Common Room, you also get Alfie Chang, who is going to take off 2 kilos as well. The last race where he ran second in at Happy Valley, he had 56. So now he's going to take on 54. So there is a chance here. I think Common Room could be there or thereabouts. So I'm going to take race number 5, number 6, Common Room again.
Yes, let's see how this lightly raced 3-year-old does on the all-weather track. But I think this race is really wide open, and I agree with Charene that there's going to be a lot of value to be had with this race. But I'm going to go completely off track here. My value bet does not come in on this race. Unfortunately, I didn't get the memo. But my value bet comes in at race 9. I talked about him before, the 2 Satanta. I just think, this horse has just really shown a lot since coming over from Australia late last year and then running at high level races there, then coming in here where his first start at Happy Valley ended up getting a really nice 3rd place finishing and just seemed to progress after that, getting second at the 1400 meter. But hasn't raced this in a little bit. So we'll see. He does come down to the class 3 level and stretching back out to where I think the 1400 meters is really his sweet spot here. So we'll see. The draw, I think, sets him up perfectly for this race. So definitely to hit the board, definitely play this horse. You're going to get some great value on him. And that is the 2 Santanta and race 9. So to recap our value bets, or at least everybody else's value bets that came in race 5, Steve has the 10, Team Good Luck. Charene's on the 12, Smart Folks, and Joe is the 6, Common Room. And those are all 3 in race 5. Well, those are our value bets. We covered our best bets, and we got you covered for races 8, 9, and 10. I feel like we tackled a lot of tough races of this card. So hopefully everyone has some good luck this weekend at Sha Tin. See you later.